Many people claim that being transgender is a mental illness to demean and insult trans people. But is being transgender a mental illness? First, we need to understand the difference between being transgender and gender dysphoria. Transgender is defined by the American Psychiatric Association, or the APA, as the broad spectrum of individuals who transiently or persistently identify with a gender different from their natal gender. Basically, what that means is someone like me who was told I was a boy at birth but actually identifies as a girl is considered transgender. This definition also includes non-binary people because they may have been told that they were a boy or girl at birth but don't necessarily identify with that gender. On the other hand, gender dysphoria is defined by the APA as the distress that may accompany the incongruence between one's experienced or expressed gender and one's assigned gender. The keyword here is distress. While being transgender is recognizing the difference between your assigned gender and your self-identified gender, gender dysphoria is the distress that's caused by that incongruence. It's important to recognize that not all transgender people experience gender dysphoria the same amount. It's the difference between going, I'm really a girl, and I'm really a girl! So while being transgender and gender dysphoria are related, they are not the same. Also, this is not the same distress caused by being transgender in today's society, created by having to face insults, violence, or discrimination. That's a whole different kind of distress. The APA defines mental illness as associated with distress and or problems functioning in social, work, or family activities. So no, being transgender is not a mental illness because being trans doesn't inherently cause someone distress. We did it. We figured it out. The misconception that being trans is a mental illness is dangerous and causes trans people to face discrimination in areas like employment, parental guardianship, entrance into the military, medical examinations, and many more. The gender dysphoria and mental illness connection is a little less clear. The APA explicitly states that gender dysphoria is not a mental disorder. But since gender dysphoria is the experience of distress, it seems to fit the definition of mental illness. But whether or not gender dysphoria is a mental illness, it can be treated. The distress caused by an incongruence between one's gender identity and natal gender can be lessened by the use of therapy, surgeries, and or hormones. These treatments don't make you more or less transgender, but they can lessen gender dysphoria when properly diagnosed by a psychologist and treated by an affirming doctor. So to put it in simplest possible terms, there may be a lot of things wrong with me, but being transgender isn't one of them. Please share this video to help break a dangerous misconception about trans people.